Hi there, I'm Michael Hill with Canine Chronicle TV, and for our Influencers series today, I am here with Michael Shepard, and we're going to find out how you got involved in the sport of dogs and who was influential in leading you to the career that you have had to date. How are you, Michael?
I'm good, Michael. How are you?
I am great. So let's start with who was the first person to make an impact on you in getting involved in the world of dogs?
I guess maybe my parents, because they started showing our Great Danes. But then we used to go to training class, and a lady by the name of Enid Fritz was the person that really kind of taught me how to show dogs, because she was the instructor at the class. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
when you were getting started showing dogs, how old were you at that time?
maybe 8 or 9.
So you were starting from the very young, parents were going to dog shows, they had
Correct.
Great Danes. How
Yes.
did you start branching out into other breeds?
Oh, we showed my parents showed their Great Danes. I at training class would show. We had a little miniature poodle at the time, and I would just take her, to training class just so because I was, for something to do, I guess. And then
Sure.
I got interested in skipper keys, and so my dad, a really good friend of my dad's, was Harvey Dickinson, who had Harvaloo skipper keys, and so we got a skipper key from Harvey and Lula. That was his wife, and I started showing my skipper key, and then I just kind of got, we just had some other breeds. We had some Whippets and some Shih Tzus and some Lhasas and stuff like that. And my mom and I would just show our dogs, and
I
I
love
guess
that
that's how.
that's a family affair.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you know that you wanted to make this a full-time thing at that age, or was that something that took a little while?
It took a little bit. I guess over time, I got obsessed with dog shows. It was just something that I don't know. I think I think sometimes dog shows are for kind of misfits or people that don't really
Sure.
fit in everywhere else. I didn't really fit in at school. I wasn't athletic. I didn't. I wasn't that popular. Not that I wasn't popular, but I wasn't that popular because I wasn't a football player or anything like
Sure.
that.
The typical
Yeah,
teenager.
I was very, very shy as a kid. So, that was probably the problem there. I was just too shy. But dog shows, you could be yourself. I had friends at dog shows. We used to hang out, practice with everybody's dogs. When I was in, junior showmanship, all of us would switch dogs at night. And we would just go inside the dog show and
Oh,
practice
wow.
with, whatever, whatever all of our friends showed. We all showed different breeds. So,
Oh, that's
so
very cool. So then
yeah,
you had more exposure to different breeds and
right,
temperaments
right.
and training
Yeah, yeah.
levels.
Yeah. Another person that was very influential on me as far as showing dogs, and he helped me out a lot. His name was JP McNaney. He was a Great Dane kid that lived down in San Antonio.
Mm.
Marjoka Great Danes was his parents' kennel name. Yeah, JP doesn't show dogs anymore, but he was kind of like a big brother, so to speak, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there
This
anything
is
specific, like either handling wise or just about dogs that you remember him really imprinting on you?
um just techniques, just how to do it. He also showed in juniors, so I had to show in juniors against him. So
Yeah.
I had to like step my game up in order to beat him because he was a really good, dog handler. So
Friendly competition. I like that.
friendly. Oh, for sure. Yeah, very friendly. My parents and his parents were, all of them were all Great Dane friends. So we all,
Amazing.
used to, so to speak, camp at the dog shows together. Everybody had their motorhomes and,
It's a
stuff like
pretty
that.
good breed to be in, if I say so myself.
Well, yeah, yeah. I don't mind it at all. I actually love the breed. So yeah, I miss
It
them
is. It is.
sometimes. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they're unique. So
yeah,
then
yeah.
you age out of juniors. When did you realize that professional handling and kind of that high level dog show was where you were gonna shoot
That
for?
was kind of it. Right as I aged out of juniors and I'm in school, and you get to the age to where you can have a job. You can work and have a job. And I had at that point, sometimes I would work for Johnny Johnson. He would come
Hmm.
down and stay at my parents' house, and I would work, go to dog shows with him, just on the weekends. And he was a very famous boxer handler. Johnny
Mm,
was, and I worked for Johnny and helped him out, and learned some things about the business.
yeah.
So I was pretty much hooked at that point. And then, like I said, in high school, when you get to be a certain age, you're able to have a job, and everybody wants to have their own money. So
Sure.
I showed dogs instead of getting a full-time job, like a regular job.
Yeah.
I mean, I did work a couple of regular jobs, but dog shows I was always drawn to dog shows. It was what I
That's
wanted.
what kind of stuck throughout.
Yeah. So I kind of put myself, or just kind of made my own money, what little money I made. I didn't have very many clients because my parents wouldn't let me, have too many clients. And we were advised not to let myself have too many clients, which is great. I didn't mind, but so
Sure.
kind of in high school, I did it. And then when I started going to college, I think I'm trying to remember how this all happened. It's so long ago, but I did work for Bill Aston and Linda Curzan, which is Linda Stevens now. Bill Aston was a really famous Great Dane guy. And Linda Stevens is she did a lot of winning in min pens. She bred some really beautiful min pens, and they were a couple at the time. And Bill showed dogs for Sheenwater Kennels.
Mm.
Yeah, before Gamble came along.
Gamble, yeah.
Before Gamble, Bill showed for the Chandlers. And so, I did work for Bill and Linda a lot. They also would come to my parents and stay for several months, at a time or whatever. And so I would go to dog shows with them. Then I spent several summers with them, and then, working, and several summers with Johnny Johnson working. And kind of when I got in college, I kind of went out on my own in order to help my parents pay for college.
Sure.
And then, you're in college and you're making way too much money. And you think to yourself, why the hell do you need college? I mean, Jesus.
What's wrong with this picture?
What is going on here? Except for you're not smart enough to really realize that you should finish college, at least get a business degree or something like that, because it would have come in very handy. I've learned a lot of things. But so, like that. But it just is, dog shows have always been a passion of mine. So, so I thought about getting a job doing other things. And then I always come back to dog shows because, it's everything has its pros and cons, but I like dog shows. I like showing dogs. So.
Well, it's a good thing you stayed in it, because you've been having a pretty good time these past couple years for sure.
So since 1982, I basically have shown dogs for a living,
Wow.
So it's a really long time. I don't.
That's a sustainable career.
Years or something like that. Yeah.
Was there anybody who was impactful as far as like for the higher level, top ranked record breaking dogs? That's a whole different strategy versus just running a business.
Over time I hung out like with people like Michael Kemp and Bobby Peebles and Roy Murray. I mean, all the big guys that were down here. Aubrey Powell, I don't know if anybody knows who that is anymore, but he was the guy that showed my parents' dogs. If they, didn't show them themselves, they would hire Aubrey to show them. And Aubrey taught me a lot of things, just about ethics in dogs and how to, just what you're as a dog handler, how you should, treat other dog handlers, and how you
like
should,
the sportsmanship and comportment.
Sportsmanship, like that. And then when you receive a dog, Aubrey and Bill Aston always told me that when you get a dog in, like somebody gives you a dog, you make sure that you return that dog to the owner in better condition than you got it. So that's always been a motto of mine, or just something I've tried to
for sure,
make sure it looks as good, if not better than when you receive the dog. But stuff like that. And to be honest, and sometimes obviously you're in trouble, but that's just Aubrey was always honest with us, as clients. And he would say to my parents, this one's not going to make it, or I'll give it 10 shows, or I'll, let's not waste our money on that one. Let's go to this one over here. I mean, he was a very good influence for my parents as far as, learning how.
And that probably makes for much more sustainable long-term client relationships.
I think it does. Some people get angry with you when you tell them, sorry, your dog just isn't good enough, but I think they get angry because they don't understand, and it's their, they just have the one dog and they think it's,
they're invested
perfect. And I understand that because, I had a Japanese Chen for 18 years that wasn't even registered. And I thought she was the most beautiful Japanese Chen in the world, but
best in show every time.
Every time she should have gone best in show. But I mean, she was just the love of my life. She went with me everywhere I went. And, you have those dogs, that you think are nothing's better than, but, realistically, we all know that, there might be a better one somewhere.
And that's your job as the handler.
Good. Yeah, and that's my job as the handler. I don't like it sometimes, you don't like that reality, but it's okay. You got to deal with it. You got to do it.
Part of the job.
Part of the job for sure. Yeah.
So looking back at your entire career, going from, dog shows with your family to back-to-back group wins at the Garden and breaking breed records,
Yeah.
what are some things that, if you either in active mentorship relationships or even just here sharing with younger aspiring handlers or dog professionals, what would something that comes to mind as advice you would give or would have given yourself back then?
Go to college, get a degree, at least just get a degree in business. Just get something because business, nobody ever tells you when you're apprenticing under somebody or you're learning, they never tell you the business end of the, of the aspect of showing dogs. I mean,
which is huge.
When you work for a corporation, you have retirement, you have insurance, you have all those things that when you work for yourself, you don't, that's not provided for you. You have to, you have to provide that for yourself. So make sure you find a good financial advisor or, ask some of your clients, people that show dogs, that can afford to show dogs. They're not dumb people. They didn't get to that point in their life of, being, I don't want to say rich, but just being able to afford showing dogs. So, ask them what they do. They, if they own their own business, ask them how, how they prepare for the future, like, stuff like that.
Such a great point.
Yeah. Be honest with your clients, make yourself a rate sheet and stick to your rate sheet. Charge everybody the same. Don't charge one person, one thing, and then don't charge another person another thing, because I guarantee you all those clients are going to eventually talk to each other. And if you're charging client A, this amount, and you're charging client B more, they're going to be like, why the hell is he charging me more? Or why is they charging that client less? Or, stuff like that. And just try to be as honest with your people as you can. Don't try to, have them look at this sport through rose-colored glasses, because this is expensive to do. I mean, it's really expensive. I do all my own billing, invoicing the clients, and I know what it costs. I know what their bills are every month. I know what they pay, and, it's expensive, and it's a hobby for a lot of people. So, just be honest with them, and then, keep your dogs healthy, keep your truck clean, keep your crates clean, keep, just try to,
Such an important piece, even that, like going back to your point about bringing the dog back at a better condition when these dogs are giving us so much and they're going through a lot, and most of them happily, but they still are owed that care and condition.
And, try to just go, okay, if you have a new person, try to work them into the whole dog show thing slowly. Like say, okay, I'll give your dog, let's say we'll give it 15 shows and let's see how it does. It's not the best dog in the world. It's not the worst dog in the world, but maybe we can, let's just see how it does. And then if that dog doesn't work out, try to coach those people into getting a better dog, like try to get them something really good, because they obviously want to do this. So let's try, and if they refuse and they're like, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about, our dog's the greatest one, then okay, at some point in at some point in their dog show existence, they'll figure out, oh, that Michael Shepherd, he was right. He was, you just try to remember it. Yeah, just try to remember. Yeah. Yes.
I think that's a great point though, because it's going back to that honesty as well, where it's like, you're not even just beating them down, but saying, here, let me help you find something that you will enjoy more and be more worth your time and money.
Yeah. Let's try to, okay, this one's not going to work, or this one's not the greatest, but maybe I can finish it, or I feel like it's good enough to be a champion. But after that, let me get you something really good. If you're that interested in that breed, let's try to find something,
absolutely
of a higher quality. Let's put it that way.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for those pearls of wisdom, Michael. It was so great to hear about your progression and everything that went into building the career that you've built. So we appreciate your time today.
Sure. It was fun. Thanks.
Awesome. Good luck at your shows next weekend. All right.
Thank you. Thanks.